Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 140 of Classic Elite. We have a huge episode for you, so I hope that you're ready for this. My name is Scott. I'll be hosting tonight, and to give you a little bit of a rundown, we have a total of 5 of us. I've got Dustin and Josh with me as always. What's going on, guys?
Not much. I'm excited.
Josh, I know we're on webcams, but you have to be audible. You can't just wave hello.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm waving hello.
There you go.
Is that good?
Yes, perfect. We've got Mike T from the Cartoon Retrocast back on the show. What's up, Mike?
Bloodborne!
Bloodborne. This is going to be a Bloodborne Spoilercast, which is going to be a lot of fun, because I have no idea about the game. And lastly, but not leastly, which isn't a word, we've got Holly, Josh's girlfriend, on the show. What's going on?
Hello.
Okay, you're going to have to not be shy and talk into the microphone.
Sorry. He's all up in it. I can't.
Yeah, Josh,
Actually,
make room for the lady.
I got a question for Holly. Do you listen
Yes.
to this show?
I have. Yeah.
Oh, is it good?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. All right. I'm excited.
Now, when I leave, she'll tell you a different story.
Yeah.
No.
I think the show's okay. Mike, you listen to it.
Yeah.
I pretend to, yeah. I just fast forward to my email part, and then I'm not happy.
That's fine. As long as we get emails from you, we're happy about it.
That's the best part, really.
Yeah, it is the highlight of the show. That's why we save it for the end. Or if it's really on point, we'll talk about it up front. So, yeah, this is going to be a Bloodborne spoiler cast for about the first half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and then we'll go into a normal episode where we'll talk about some news, what we've been playing, all that kind of stuff. We'll try to get the whole episode in without having Josh and Holly leave, but unfortunately, with adult responsibilities, they might have to take off a little early. So, but before we jump into the spoiler cast, guys, I have a quick announcement to make. And I guess it's fitting that we have 5 of us on the show because Classic Elite is officially 5 years old, which is crazy. I'm the only
We're all
one that's
gonna go to
been around for
kindergarten
5
now.
years. What, Dustin?
We can all go to kindergarten now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Finally,
So do we
we're
get
all
like a-
kids that care.
I want a ceremony, like a cap and a gown. Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. Well, as far as the spoiler cast is concerned, who's going to take the reins? Who's going to lead this? I have not played the game, so I have no idea. I'm not even sure what questions to be asking. So I don't feel like I should be the one to kind of roll with it.
Well, we've got 3 of us that finished it, right? I got the platinum trophy. You guys are real close.
Yeah.
How far are you, Dustin? I have no idea.
I just beat the Vicar Amelia.
Okay, so you're about halfway-ish.
Yeah, roundabout.
So is this going to bug you, Dustin? Is this a game that spoilers are a big deal, or is it more about the combat and stuff like that?
It's mainly about the combat. It has story, but it's all very back burner. You have to kind of read the item descriptions and kind of parse it for yourself. So if you guys talk about other stuff, the only thing you'll really be able to spoil would be like monster names, right? Basically it.
What about weapon types and stuff like that? Is anything off limits, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
what
no,
do you
go
not
for it.
want us to talk about?
Just talk, about anything.
Cool. So,
All of it.
Then, Mike, this is your idea. So I think that you're going to be taking the lead then. But
All right.
this is like your game of the year, right, so far?
Let me read after I got the platinum in this game, let me read what I wrote to somebody. Just got the platinum in this game. F this game. F this effing game. F a single trophy in this effing game. I'm so glad I never have to play this effing game again. 10 out of 10 game of the year.
You can cuss, Mike. It's okay.
Well, whatever. So the game is hard. You know, it's a Souls game, which I had never played before. But it's not that hard. Like, I didn't feel like it was that hard up until I got to this certain point with this single trophy that you have to get for the platinum. And then all of a sudden it was like, you know, my hands were sweaty when I finally beat the boss that I need to get past. And like basically my stats were essentially maxed out because they were at hard caps. So there was nowhere else to go. I couldn't go level or anything like that. I just had to be good and beat this particular boss. I was screaming, I was yelling, my heart was pounding. I mean, I was the only one home, but I hadn't felt that way in a really long time for a game. You know, Shadow of Mordor last year was great, but it wasn't hard. You know, Shadow of Mordor was really easy, and it was just really fun. And this game is fun, and it's hard at times, and you have that sense of accomplishment, which, you know, I don't have a lot of that in my life, so it was great.
You've got kids, and you're married, you got a good job. You got
It's not. It's not like Watchdog of the Old Lords in Defiled Chalice. That's for sure.
I don't even know. Is that a reference to the game?
Yeah.
So, Holly, I got to ask you, what's like sucked you in so far? Or I guess up to this point that you're actually trying to platinum it.
It's a good game.
Are you more the combat or the lore?
I mean, you like the fighting. You're all about. She's all about the axe.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually started playing it not really knowing what I was getting into. He brought it over. I was bored and started playing it, and he had to buy it for me the next day.
Well, let me interject here and tell you what happened. So I had the game for one night. I had not made it to the Cleric Beast yet, right? And I didn't play a whole lot of Demon Souls and Dark Souls, but enough to know what I was getting into. I bring the game over here, and I'm tutoring one of our daughters in math, and she sits down to play for the first time and makes it to the Cleric Beast her first time playing in like 20 minutes or so.
How?
Yeah, and I'm like,
What?
She came in, she picked, I forget what the base class was that had high strength, grabbed the axe, intuitively,
First time.
beat it first time. And I
Beat
was
the cleric-
like,
wait a minute, beat the Cleric
Yeah.
Beast first time? Whoa.
yeah.
That was.
And
That's impressive.
but she'd never played Dark Souls, Demon Souls, or anything. She just rolled in and started kicking butt. And I was impressed and also very saddened. But, I mean, I don't know. Would you say it clicked with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I'm sad that it's almost over.
I don't know, this last little part that Mike's been complaining about. I'll have Mike walk us through that here in a second.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Holly, that's crazy. Did you ever play like a Monster Hunter game or anything else that's...
I've not ever played anything like it.
Wow.
Mario.
Kingdom Hearts.
Well, Kingdom Hearts, but I mean, not... That's...
Kingdom Hearts is turn-based, right? Turn-based RPG? Or is it action?
I thought it was action. Didn't you like...
There's action. It's not...
Yeah,
but it's not...
It's not traditional Final Fantasy. It's more
No, it's more...
Zelda-like in a
Yeah.
way.
Oh.
I don't know.
Maybe I should
Okay.
play it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, didn't Josh get you the collector's edition? Or the key?
Yes, I have the key.
Yeah. Oh, is that in the closet?
No, it's right here.
Okay. Well, I'd pull it out and make a bunch of noise, but yeah, it's this thing here.
Oh, so he's
Haven't
like,
even opened it
he's
yet.
like, I would pull it out and make a bunch of noise. I'm not going to, but here I'm going to.
But here it is.
So for there it is. Oh, that is sweet.
Oh!
Yeah.
That, I was thinking it was something like maybe a foot long.
No.
No, that's like 4 feet, man. Pretty wicked. So,
Well, let me
Alright,
just say something about Bloodborne, though, because you were saying, "Oh, do you like the lore better?" You really don't. You really don't get any lore. Like, I played through the entire game, feeling like at some point this would make sense to me, and then I beat the game, and then I had to go read a wiki to actually understand the lore. But the lore is awesome, though. Like, the lore is amazing. The only problem is it's not up front. Like, it's in the item descriptions, and even then, you have to have people compile it for you. Otherwise, it'll just take you 200 hours to figure out even just the lore.
But it's all like relating to aliens and getting impregnated and all this crazy stuff. Am I wrong?
I It could be aliens, but I thought it was more like extra-dimensional creatures.
Yeah, okay, that's another way. Yeah, better description.
And it's about blood. I don't know if you guys caught on to that, but it's about blood. And it's about old blood and new blood and by the blood and for the blood. So, actually, I got a question to ask you guys. So, Holly's weapon is the axe, but what about you, Josh? What's your weapon of choice?
I went with the Holy Blade. Like, once
Oh,
I started using it, yeah, that's it. That was my only go-to.
And Dustin?
I was mainly the saw cleaver to begin with, but then I picked up Ludwig's Holy Blade, and the great sword portion of that is pretty awesome.
That's the one that you were using in the video you put up, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit, there's video. I should watch it.
With commentary.
I actually went through the whole platinum using the saw cleaver. And the only time there was a few bosses where I used the axe, but that's it. It was just the saw cleaver the whole time. And I don't know why I like that fast sort of. I did get the Ludwig's Holy Blade, but I think by that time my saw cleaver was at a higher level, and I didn't want to go back and farm the introductory blood shards.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, saw cleaver's working great, so.
I like the saw cleaver is good because it has that really quick, like the R1, L1, L1, R1 combo is really good.
Mm-hmm.
It takes off a lot of damage, usually stagger an enemy when you use it, and it has, like, the one thing that sucks about Ludwig's Holy Blade is you can't use your gun during the greatsword transformation, and the normal sword to greatsword transformation and vice versa isn't very graceful. Like, you can, if you're using the Kirk hammer, you can actually work it into a combo where you're transforming, but not so much with the Holy Blade. So the saw cleaver does have that advantage of being able to use your pistol.
Yeah, but then again, the extended version of the saw cleaver, worthless.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a little bit of extra range, but that's it.
The R2 attack does have some crowd control because it has that sweeping attack.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I almost never ever use that.
Yeah.
If I needed crowd control, I would just switch to the axe. So
are there not a ton of weapons in this game? Because it feels like everybody has a really good grasp of what weapon they're using, and whenever I play games, I have no idea what the weapon's called. But everybody knows what their weapons are in this one.
I think there's only a few that people use. Like, there's some oddball ones, like there's a big wheel, and there's these like beast claws, and actually the beast claws come in kind of late in the game, and I wanted to try to use them, but they just weren't as good as. It's not so much they weren't as good, but like whenever you use a new weapon, you got to get used to it, and I just didn't have patience for that.
And it's not upgraded at all at that point, right?
I did upgrade the beast claws when I got them, because that was when I went through New Game Plus, so I had a bunch of introductory stuff that I didn't use yet.
So, Mike, when it comes to, I'm going to ask everybody this question, but the most difficult boss, like, walk me through what's going on and the mechanic that makes it so difficult.
Well, there's difficulty in the sense that, like, it's a really hard boss, and there's difficulty in the sense that it took me a really long time to learn. So when I went through the story, most of the bosses took me like about between 2 and 4 tries, or a single try. And one of them, the one that I posted the video of, that was the one that took me the most tries, and that was like 8.
Okay.
So, or actually, I think I said 4th or 5th, but a couple of those were cheap deaths. So yeah, like it took me about 8 times. And even then, even in that video, did you guys watch that video?
I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It seemed like a really long, tedious fight.
Well, it's not. I mean, it actually is kind of an easy fight, but I didn't do it right. And then I ran out of the healing blood vials. That's what heals you. And so I was sitting at like 2% health for I don't know how long. I don't know, like 5 minutes or something. Just dodging. And I finally killed the guy. But when I went to the Chalice dungeons, which you need to do, so there's, I guess, Dustin, have you done any Chalice dungeons at all? I saw you have a Chalice, but
Not yet.
I don't know if but you guys have done them, right? Josh and Holly?
Oh yeah, we're in some of the level 5 depth ones, I guess, is what you said.
Oh, you wait a minute. You beat the Defiled Chalice, the one where it takes off half your health. No.
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 No. I
We're
went
on
in
them.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went
That's
in there.
where you guys are stuck at right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the hardest one because it takes away. You get into this dungeon and you're this powerhouse, like you're busting through all these things and nothing's really hard. And yeah, maybe you have to do a boss 2 or 3 times, but nothing's really bad. And then you get to this dungeon where it halves your health, and basically the first boss is kind of easy actually. I think I died to him a few times, but once I figured out that all I had to do was run up to him and I could stun lock him pretty long, then that wasn't too bad. But the second boss is this dog, this fire dog. It's called Watchdog of the Old Lords. Is that where you guys are on right now, or did you beat him?
No, I haven't.
But is that
I
where
gave
you're
up
at?
right at the moment. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
right now.
I will fully admit, and this is like, I did this a lot in this game, that I had to go to a strategy. I died to him about 10 times, and it's frustrating because like maybe the second time, I think I got him down to like maybe 1%. So like one more hit would have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he charged me out of nowhere and I died. It was like an instant kill. So because your health is halved, anytime he hits you with a couple different attacks, he kills you instantly. So maybe on the third or fourth time I got instantly killed, even though if I hit him one more time he would have died. And then I wiped to him 6 more times, and then that same exact thing happened, and then I wiped 6 more times and the same exact thing happened. And I was like, okay, screw this, I'm going to look on how people beat this boss. Mm-hmm. And then I had to, because I was using the saw cleaver, so then I had to break out the axe and basically just do it really methodically. Like as soon as he would do this thing, then I would hit him once and then just wait until he would do another thing, then hit him once and wait. And that's the only way that I could beat him. It took me like 3 or 4 tries to beat him that way, but he didn't cheese me at the end of that one. So and it's just like, oh god. So I must have did him like 35 times, dying over it. And it was in a single playthrough. And each time I was like, fuck this game, fuck this, I'm done, fuck this game, one more time. And it was just, I think it was about 2.5 or 3 hours that I was just dying to him over and over and over again. And then I beat him, and that's when my heart was pounding, because it was like, even though I went up to him and the fight went real clean, it was like I was still scared that he was going to charge me right at the end, right when I had 1 hit left. And it was yeah.
Old school games have us trained that way, where the boss can still get you, especially like Castlevania games. The boss can still get you after you get the final blow on him. I don't know, Hollywood.
But actually, if that would have happened, you still beat him though. If you kill him and then die, you still beat him. So I would have been okay with that.
Oh, okay. Holly, I got to ask you, since you were breezing through the early part of the game, when was the first time it actually felt real difficult for you? Do you remember which boss it was or what section was going on?
I kind of breezed through it. Really.
She's so modest. No, who gave you the trouble? Come on.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
Josh, who got you stuck?
I'm trying to think here.
The 3 guys. The
okay,
ninjas.
yeah.
That was, I think I was...
Is that the same
that was
as
probably...
the 3 that you had in the video, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was probably the hardest.
They were nasty. I came in and helped you on that, and we got through it.
That's right. You guys can play together.
Oh, it makes it so much... sometimes it helps a lot. Other times, even together, we can't do it. Like
wow.
What's that guy that runs from you, the boss, Mikolash?
Oh, yeah, but that's just a puzzle, though, right?
It is, but...
It's not that it's hard, it's just aggravating.
Yeah, because, he has that move that shoots out those, like, tentacles, right?
Yeah.
Like, your co-op partner, where their life is reduced, you get one-shotted by that every time.
So I've never done a co-op. So what exactly happens in a co-op? Does a boss's health increase and your health decreases?
Yeah, the boss's health goes up, and your co-op partner's life goes down. Like their life is capped off at like I think 75% of its value, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So it tries to balance out the fight that way, but the bummer is like your co-op partner dies really quickly if they're not careful.
Okay.
Which is and our tactic has been to send the co-op person in first, like they are the meat shield. Like you go in the fight first because if he does that one move, we're dead. And then we proceed that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that Mikulash thing was a mess just because we're like both running around and she's like, he's going left. And I'm like, what left? And he's upstairs. And I'm downstairs.
Yeah, that one's tricky because basically if you come at him from the wrong way, then he'll just loop around and then you'll be in an endless loop.
Yeah.
So this isn't like split screen couch co-op though, right? You guys had to be on different PS4s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you just
Yeah.
have them in the same room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's two TVs. They're just side by side. And, we can peer over and look at what the other one's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome, except for now we're playing The Witcher side by side. And it's like, I can't look at her screen. She's farther than me. So I have to do this every time a cutscene plays. Got to hold my hand over my eye.
Yeah, and we'll get to The Witcher in a bit. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about that game.
All right. So I wanted to ask, because I got the game for Dustin for his birthday and his graduation or whatever. I didn't know what it was. I basically got the game for you because I was like, when I beat the game, I was like, this game's awesome. I think Dustin would love it. And then it also happened to go on sale. Now, like a week earlier, I'd messaged you and said, is this still your address? So you would have got it a week before.
Yeah. I rarely get on Facebook nowadays, so.
And I'm sure you had finals too, so you might not have been messing with it. But so you've beaten like 4 or 5 bosses, right, so far?
Yeah, let's see. I've beat the Cleric Beast, Father Gascoigne. I beat the Witches of Hemwick Village. I beat the Vicar Emily.
Right, the wolf, the giant werewolf lady.
Yeah. I beat, I'm in the Forbidden Woods right now.
Yeah, well, you're going to come up on those 3 guys then.
Okay.
You know what's funny is that some people think that fight's really easy, and some people like just get stuck on it. Like I just got stuck on it, but I watched what I was doing was after I was finishing a section, I would watch this guy's stream on it, his walkthrough, his playthrough or whatever, and he beat that in the first try. So, and when he did it, the snakes never came out at the end.
Huh.
So I don't know. What
I've gotten so close to beating bosses on the first try, and then they kill me. Like I think I almost beat the Blood-Starved Beast and Father Gascoigne on the first try, and it just fell apart at the end, and they killed me, and I had to go back.
Yeah, you must have beat the witches on the first try, though, right?
No, actually, I didn't. I was wailing on them. I was doing really well, and one of them I was running up to hit her, and she got me with the paralyze move.
Oh, and then just killed you.
She hit me with that, and then her other little witchy friend came over from the side and hit me, and it was like I had full life, and then it was just like boosh, nothing, dead.
Yeah, I think the witches is considered the easiest boss. Not saying that you can't die to it, but you can die to anything. Yeah, you can die to anything. So, but
It
yeah,
seems like a game where it can go sideways on you real fast.
Mm-hmm. When I first started playing it, the normal enemies were killing me pretty frequently. Like it took me a while to get used to it.
Yeah, I think actually the hardest part of the game for me, other than that watchdog, was just the first section of enemies. I died more times to those guys than that bonfire where they're burning the werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
I just died more times to those guys than any boss or any other section in the game because when you first start. Now I know Holly went right through it, but
yeah. But she just ran up and did that axe charge and it was over. It was good night. I started with the cane whip, which was a major mistake. I think it could be awesome, but it's just from the get-go, it's not the best choice.
Cane whip is
personally, I
awful.
think. Yeah, but it looks the best. It looks
Yeah,
so
it looks really cool.
Yeah. I think that the other thing, though, talking about the beginning of the game is, if you've played previous Souls games in the past and you jump to this, it's very different. Like it's so similar. Like it's the same game. It is a Blood Souls game, but there is none of that like shield walk. Slowly walk around the enemy. Like you can't just sit there and take hits. You got to be very twitchy almost in the way you play. And when you get hit, you got to jump back in there right away to try to get some of that health back by beating on the monster that is closest to you.
Let me ask you guys this, because you guys have both played Souls games. Do those games just look like shit? Because Bloodborne looks amazing, and when I watched videos of Dark Souls 2 Remaster, it looks like complete crap.
I think Dark Souls 2 especially looks really bad. I think the first Dark Souls and the first Demon Souls look pretty good. I don't know why I said first Demon Souls. There's only one. But the textures on Dark Souls 2 look kind of garbage.
Okay, because Bloodborne looks amazing. Now, I heard Scott, who's never played the game before, say it looked muddy. And I know he heard that shit from Giant Bomb.
Yeah, it's right.
But it doesn't. It looks amazing when you're looking at it on the screen. I mean, it's dark.
All I've watched is YouTube videos. So that's why I was saying, is it
Okay.
because it's all compressed?
Now, it's dark. It is dark. Like, you need to have your torch out, like, all the time. But it does look amazing, though.
Okay. I believe it. I did watch Dustin's video that you put up on youtube.com/classicleet. And I really liked the art style. When Dustin was talking about kind of that Victorian League of Extraordinary Gentlemen sort of vibe, I was really paying attention to that and thought that it looked really good.
Yeah. I mean, you should get a PS4, put it up on your 55-inch. It'll look even better.
I don't have a TV that big. So I probably shouldn't get a PS4.
Didn't you have a friend that left a 55-inch at your house or something?
Yeah.
There you go. You
He
should have
really
just
got
kept
it.
that.
It was only 720p. It was an old one.
So let me. Is it okay if we spoil the end, Dustin?
Absolutely. Oh.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me ask you guys, Josh and Holly, this. You guys did the real ending, right? Like the true ending first?
That's probably a sore topic for us. I got
Uh-oh.
it first.
Uh-oh.
Kind of, at first I wasn't going to do it. Like, we had this discussion that I'm not going to do it, Like, I'm not going to eat the umbilical cords and get the real ending. And she's
What?
like, no, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
You just have to see.
Oh,
I'll let her tell it. You tell
Wait
it.
a minute.
Okay. So,
I don't want.
yeah.
Wait a minute. I don't want to cause strife now.
No, there's no
If
strife.
there's a
It's
problem.
over.
Okay.
She got the real ending now on her second playthrough. But first playthrough, I got all the umbilical cords, or I got 3 of them, and she only had 2.
Okay, no, but okay. When I play the game, I tell him, okay, I found this, and this. He keeps everything to himself. Okay. He cheats. I don't cheat at all. So we get to the end. He's like, oh yeah, I found blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, I don't have that. So yeah, he got
But
it.
you could have got back and got it, right?
No, I had already went through. I had already did.
Oh, you finished the
Whatever.
game already.
Yeah.
Oh, you taught. No, wait a minute.
Yeah, I had already.
Well,
Which
You-
was. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so I was in the fight, and I was fighting the last boss. I hate to spoil it. Dustin, you sure you don't care?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I was fighting Garum or Garum.
What? No.
I was fighting him, right?
Gurman.
Gurman, thank you. And I'm like, I'm gonna get the same ending you got or whatever. And she's like, why? No, don't do that. And then in the middle of the fight, I just stop and I eat all the umbilical cords. Like I run real far away from him and I get him in. And then of course I die and I go back and I fight him a few more times. I win. And then I go on to fight the, true last boss or whatever of the story mode.
Moon Presence, yeah.
Yeah.
We're just gonna spoil it for you, Dustin. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. So the moon has this giant baby. I fight it, and then she's mad because it's like this. I thought I was doing the right thing by first not getting the real ending, and then she fusses at me.
Backtracking so
I am. So then she fusses at me for not getting the real ending, for blowing my chance. So then in the fight, I eat the umbilical cords and I get the real ending, and I'm fussed at because I said I wasn't gonna. So I see where I lied, but I also see where I was trying to make her happy by getting myself another trophy.
See, he only worries about himself.
I was gonna say.
But you would have got a trophy anyway. You would have got a trophy.
I know, but I got 2 trophies.
How'd you get 2 trophies?
Don't you get a trophy for the boss? Both bosses?
No, you only get for every different ending. You get a trophy. So you have to. So you still have to go back and do that fight again without eating the umbilical cords.
Okay, which I have. Actually, I'm doing it right now. On playthrough 2, and then I guess playthrough 3, I got to go make the choice to let him kill me.
Yeah, see, I wasn't having that. I went through one New Game Plus, and I was like, "That's it, I'm done. I'm not gonna play this game anymore. I hate this game."
Yeah.
So,
Game of the year.
Game of the year, 10 out of 10.
Definitely.
So just to catch you up, Scott. God, this is way into the lore, but throughout the game, you find these umbilical cords, and each one is a 1/3 umbilical cord. And there's 4 of them.
Okay.
And now look, Holly's upset with people that cheat. I cheated throughout this entire game because F that. I'm not gonna. You can't understand anything in the game. It's just like this is weird stuff. I'm like, you know what? I don't know where I'm going. I'm gonna pull up a map. Forbidden Woods. I don't know where the hell I am. Pull up a map.
No, that's not cheating. No, that's not cheating.
So what's cheating?
No. No, whenever you, what did you do?
What did I do?
When you pulled the guy up to the steps and then you let him kill himself?
Oh, so
I fought him.
Okay, so there's that guy that fights you, one of the hunters, the NPCs that fight you with the Chicago or Chicago.
Oh god, that is the hardest fight in the game. I didn't beat that guy.
Beat him myself.
She beat him herself. All right. Here's what I did. I found an exploit that I'd heard about it, but I encountered it.
I know that exploit. Yeah. Go ahead.
So he pulls the weapon out, and it takes life from you, right? Like it's super powerful, but at the cost of like, it's almost like being poisoned, right? Like the weapon's eating away at your life. So he pulled the weapon out, and he came after me, and then he ran back to his spot, like he leashed back to where he originally came from, but he kept the weapon drawn out, so he just killed himself.
Yes.
Never had to hit him one time, and she won't let me live it down.
Right.
Cheater.
That is technically cheating. Now, other people did. There were like a couple other cheats. One was that you could get unlimited items. I don't know if you guys heard of that one, where you could get unlimited, just whatever, any item, but people were getting unlimited cold bloods and then just using like 99 of them and getting millions and millions of blood echoes. But they patched that one out, I think. It was working for like whatever, and then when I started playing the game, it was already patched out. And then there was another bug that gave you just millions and millions of blood echoes by just kind of running around a room. And I didn't do that one either, even though I probably would have if it was working when I was playing it. But I did cheat by, I guess you could call it cheating, by, watching. I didn't watch any videos of boss fights because I figured the game was about like going into a boss room, seeing what moves he did, and then getting over it. And then the one video I watched where somebody killed him was that dog. That was the only one where I had to watch what people did to kill him. And then, but the other thing was just where to go. Like, where do I go next? I don't know. So I would have to like look that up. And when I did that, I found out about these umbilical cords, which I had 2 of, but I didn't know what they were for. And it was basically, that's how you get the true ending, and you have to have 3 of them. So it pointed me where to go for the 3rd one, and I guess you can get the 3rd one in 2 different ways. One is like a whore can have a demon baby, which I don't know if that's what you guys did, because that was disturbing.
Did they show like the birthing and stuff?
No, they don't show the bird.
Okay.
Like you walk down this ladder and the whore is crying, and there's this little squid demon baby next to her, and then you kill it and get the umbilical cord. You guys have headphones, thank God.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the other one is you get the same umbilical cord by killing this woman that is in the clinic of where you first start. And so she's laying there and she's sick and she's like, I'm going to be a great one. And then you stab her and then you can just get the umbilical cord that way. And that's how I did it. So
How many umbilical cords have you collected, Dustin?
I just have the one. I found the Hunter's Dream in the real world.
Oh, they named the umbilical cords?
yeah, there's the first, the second, and the third.
Oh, okay. The way he said it, I thought that he's like, I found such and such umbilical cord. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this game.
They did name them. They all have different
Yeah.
names. And they're not umbilical cord. They're a third of an umbilical cord. So you have the first third, the second third, and the third third.
And then are they? So they're not rewards or anything. It's an item that you find.
Yeah, one of them is an item that you pick off a boss. So basically, the last boss of the hunt, like the last boss of the night, will give you one, and then one you just find. I think that's the one that Dustin found. You just find in like on a table, and then the third one can either be from this horse baby or. By the way, that's really disturbing. I never did any of that stuff either, and but I watched it on YouTube, and it's really disturbing. And then, or you can just kill this other woman and get it, and the woman is like a one-hit kill. So
Usually, now if you can
but
lose
you don't
the
get
umbilical cord. Yeah,
you don't get the umbilical cord if it's not a one-hit kill. So
yeah, and she's nasty too when you fight her. She's not fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this though. So you did the true ending. What'd you think of that ending? Were you just like, what the hell am I watching? No?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really know. I mean, I expected it to be confusing based on the way the game had presented the story up to that point. Like cutscenes were they were there, and I'm sure they make sense if you really know what's happening. But anyone just playing the game and casually reading item descriptions, I mean, oh wow, there's a squid on the ground. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like the doll is there, and she's still really nice, I guess.
I avoided story because I figured at some point like the story would kick in and I'd understand what was going on, and then I beat the game and I was like, what the hell did I just see? So then I went to like a Bloodborne wiki or whatever, and I read the lore, and I mean I'd said this already, but it was amazing. Like it actually was more. I was more into the lore of this game that basically gave you no lore up front than I am in The Witcher, which is like a 15-minute cutscene every 5 seconds.
They must have consulted way forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it made me, you think like, oh man, I love cutscenes. I love to see the story, and it made me appreciate like, no, don't give them anything. Don't give them anything up front. Make them work for it.
Well, so how do you get to the lore then?
I just went to through the item.
Like in the game, let's pretend you're a crazy person and you want to figure out what's going on.
It's in the item descriptions.
All of it? So
there's like notes and stuff around too, but not many.
Okay.
And there's like, I would say there's probably less than 3 minutes of cutscenes total in the entire.
It's not like audio boxes are just
No.
that you can listen to or anything. Okay. Weren't the Souls games like that had the lore buried into the items?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also found out, I didn't know this because I had never played a Souls game, is that you start off with a certain goal. Like, so in this one, it was like find pale blood to transcend the hunt. And then you turn into a god. And it has nothing to do, what you're trying to do has nothing to do with actually what you've done in the game. And I guess I've heard that's what every Souls game is like.
Sure.
So is that true for you guys have played Souls games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known anyway. I mean, the way the story is told, like you said, just, oh, there's a bunch of monsters and they kill me. I guess I'll keep attacking.
So I can't even remember the name of Zelda bosses, and you guys are spouting off the names of bosses left and right. I think it would be almost an information overload for me.
Well,
Now
you
you-
remember
Like,
the
I don't
boss.
think I could keep track like you guys are able to.
You remember the boss names because they're above the life bar.
Oh, so you see it a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you, if it's a boss that kills you repeatedly, you remember the name because you're like, I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
Or you make up your own names. You know, like we call the shadows of whatever ninjas. You know, we call the Vicar Amelia the dog lady.
What do you call the weird birthed, the thing that was birthed from the sky? That's like just a bunch of corpses.
Oh, what do you call that thing? The thing that had like all the feet and body parts.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I called it anything.
Okay, yeah, I don't. Maybe that one was too gross to have a name. That was weird.
There was egg
There-
burrito.
Oh yeah, and then what's that? The daughter of the cosmos. What's her name?
Iberdus.
Yeah. So Holly started calling her egg burrito.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Like, yeah, I love the way I told her she should Twitch because the names she comes up with for these people are classic.
The gold.
Yeah, but anyway, we got a jet. Our daughter keeps coming in here. She's ready to go to bed. So,
Gotcha.
but it's been a lot of
Well-
fun. We'll have to talk some more and get some co-op going, guys.
if
Or-
you see me online when you guys are playing, I would love to just watch the thing over what's that, share play.
Yeah,
I just like watching it. That's how sick I am with this game.
sure. That sounds
deal.
good.
All right, it was good seeing you guys. Good meeting you, Holly.
All right.
Yeah, Holly, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you,
you
Kelly.
all.
Yep.
Yep.
Right, see ya.
We'll see you guys later.
Greetings from
All right.
Tennessee.
Peace.
See ya. Okay. So, let's see how this works. While we are on YouTube, I just have to make a quick adjustment here. And we'll be good to go.
So can you
Mike-
see how many people are watching on Twitch?
Probably. I don't have Twitch up.
You know, I got an email when this started. It said, watch this show on Twitch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's like, I'm not going to watch that show.
I don't blame you.
Right now, I don't think we have anybody.
All right. So I do feel really bad if we spoiled anything for you, Dustin. But you know what? It's not about the game or the story. It's about making it through the bosses.
Yeah.
And no matter what people tell you, you just got to do it for yourself because, you know, well, you've seen
Yeah, I figured basically with the way the story is, the only thing you can spoil are like boss names. That's it.
But I would say that it is a really, really good story. So once you finish it, just go read a wiki or watch a YouTube video on it or something like that. Because it's really good. Like when I watched it, it was like, oh, it's great. But it was only good because I had played the game. Like it wasn't good. Like if I watched it just on its own, I don't know if I didn't see all that stuff previously.
Yeah. Yeah. One guy I love to watch when it comes to Souls games is his name's Epic Name Bro.
You know, I think he popped up on one of my things like as a recommended.
Probably so.
I've been watching Fighting Cowboy because he's pretty entertaining, and he's not a great like video game player, but he's a pretty good streamer, and he constantly talks, which I realize is kind of it's a good skill to have. Like as you're playing a game, sometimes people just start being quiet and don't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that
He's
all the
really-
time.
Yeah, he's really good about like continuing to talk as he's playing. And he's playing The Witcher right now, which I can't watch because I have to play it myself. But God damn it, I hate The Witcher. All right.
So, let's talk about The Witcher then.
All right, so I've been playing The
Or do you
Witcher.
still have some more Bloodborne to get out of your system?
I mean, like, I probably want to talk to. Do you think you're going to go for the platinum, or? And you probably don't have as much time to play games anymore, do you?
I don't, but I'd like to try it. Yeah,
It's.
I'd like to platinum all of the Souls games, but
I made it seem like it was so hard, but it's not. It's not a hard game to platinum because it doesn't have any of that bullshit like kill 200 people in PvP or anything like that. You know, it's Every trophy is goal oriented. So, it's basically kill this one guy. I mean, this one guy might be really hard to get to, but it's not. You don't have to like continually grind PvP or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's doable, and I think even on the PSN profiles, the platinum is like 20% or 25% of people have platinum that game that have played it. So.
Oh wow.
It's not a hard game to platinum. It is hard to do it, but then once you beat a boss, then you never have to fight him again. So
Yeah.
So all you gotta do is beat him once. He can beat you 35 times, and you just beat him once, and you're done.
I don't know. I gotta admit, after listening to this spoiler cast about the game, my interest level has not gone up at all.
It's a really fun game to just play.
Yeah.
You don't have to know.
It must be if that many people are out there getting platinum. It's got to be just fun to play.
Yeah. I'm glad that I don't have to play it again. Although I would still play it if somebody wanted to play with me, or although I don't know how that works, or I just to watch somebody play, I would do that. But it's like once you platinum it, there's kind of nowhere else to go unless you like the PvP, which I don't. So,
how many hours do you think you put in?
I can tell you exactly how many hours I put in. I put in 35 hours. So,
okay,
that's not bad at all.
No,
Yeah.
to platinum a game, I think that's totally reasonable.
yeah, 25 hours, 24 hours on my first playthrough. And then my New Game Plus playthrough, I focused on getting the platinum. So it was like 10 or I guess it was more than 35. It was probably like about 18 the second time. So what's that? 18 plus 24, like 45. I don't know. It was about that.
I wasn't paying attention to what numbers you spat out.
18 plus 24.
I don't know.
It's like 40. Let's just say 40. Took about 40.
Okay.
Um,
So I pull up emails and.
mhm. It was
42.
it was a fun game to platinum. Super fun. 10 out of 10, man. Game of the year. A lot of people said the loading screens were really long, but since I started the game like a month and a half after it came out, they patched that. I don't.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the loading screens are long?
Not too bad. I
Yeah.
think that was pre-patch that they were just horrifying.
And like everything's tight, man. Like the combat is really, really tight. So so can we talk about The Witcher then?
Yeah.
Neither of you guys have played it, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. So this one I'm not going to spoil, but I am going to compare it to Bloodborne. Played about like 8 or 9 hours of The Witcher. I got out of the first area and I got into like the really big open area. First of all, the freaking game is huge. Like I don't really know how big Skyrim is, but this has to be about the same size as Skyrim, and there's also supposed to be another area after this that's the same size. So it's probably like twice the size of Skyrim.
I mean, you are eventually just hitting infinity. It's just don't even measure it at some point.
Can I go back to Bloodborne for once?
Sure,
Go for it.
man.
How long did it take you, Dustin, to figure out? I guess you played Souls games, so maybe it's like this in other Souls games. But how long did it take you to figure out that when you go through a level, you loop around the level and then open up a gate or an elevator or something, and then you're back at the beginning of the level? Because I think that took me about 4 hours to figure out.
Oh no, that's like old school Soul stuff. So
Okay,
I
so
was
you
going
knew
that
that
way.
you were looking on your first time through that first level. You were looking for
Yeah.
the switch to get you back. Okay, because I was there, and I tried to open the door, and it said this door is open by device, and I said, okay, well I don't know what I'm doing then, and then I walked away, and then later on, like maybe an hour or two later, I finally went back and I saw that there was a switch next to it.
I hate when I miss stuff like that.
So I had all these gates closed that like I could have been opening and getting faster paths to, and I didn't even know that like switches existed. It's a device, so I was like looking for a device. Like I was looking for
yeah.
something on the ground to like maybe a key or something. I don't know.
Yeah, or like a random handle with
Yeah.
like a steampunk grip to it.
I know. And of course, there's no like explanation at all to this game. Okay, let's talk about The Witcher. I'm sorry. Bloodborne. Ugh. Okay.
Okay, sure you don't want to talk about Urge first?
Let me get through The Witcher because it's really like it's going to be like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to spoil anything. Makes me appreciate no cutscenes. There's a lot of cutscenes. Now, the cutscenes look great, and I'm watching them all and not skipping them, and they're really entertaining, but damn, they do take a long time. Like, like you go in an area and you'll be like, it'll fade to black and you'll do a cutscene. It'll be like, all right, sweet, I want to kill some monsters. And then you'll go somewhere else, you kill 3 monsters, and then you'll go through a gate and then there'll be a fade to black again in another cutscene. And you're just like, come on, man, I want to. But it's actually getting better now that once you get off the main story, then you can basically just fight. You can fight as much as you want. So the main story has a lot of cutscenes, and the other cutscenes are not as bad. So that's getting better. The combat, it's not fair, but the combat sucks. And I'm sure it's good, but compared to Bloodborne, it's terrible.
I've heard other people say the combat was just so-so. Other podcasts.
It probably is actually good, to be honest, except for I just played Bloodborne. So, sorry, Witcher 3. And then, the thing that I really, really wanted to mention, and I know neither of you guys played it, and I was going to ask Josh this, but I didn't get a chance. I can't fucking read the words on the screen. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard this. I probably watched 2 or 3 reviews and heard people talk about it. Nobody has mentioned this, but when I'm sitting on my couch playing this game, I can't see the words. I can't see the subtitles. I can't see the item descriptions. There's this pretty cool quest where this lady she wants her pan back. And then you go inside this house and you figure out that the reason why the guy wanted the pan was because he needed to scrape the soot off so he could write a letter. And you take that letter. And I'm like, oh, cool, I'm going to read this letter. And I put it up on the screen and I couldn't read it. And I honestly said, I'm not going to stand up to read this damn letter. I'm going to, and that was it. I didn't finish the quest because I don't know what I was going on.
When I had my living room TV as my main computer monitor, I ran into that all the time. I'd be playing League of Legends with some friends, and I couldn't read the item descriptions. I'd have no idea what's going on. I would just kind of vaguely see what picture it was, and then would go from the guide and select an item from there. And on the mini-map, it shows you what characters are what, but it was too small that I couldn't tell what characters were where.
Now, here's the thing, though. That's a PC game, right? Like, you're not meant to sit in your living room and play that game.
That's true.
Is that true? I mean, I don't... I can forgive
No, you're not. You're meant to have your nose in your monitor.
Yeah, I can forgive that. But this game, where it's on a console, it's on a PS4, and apparently it had happened in The Witcher 2 as well, and they patched it so that you could increase the font size. Like, it's already happened to this company, CD Projekt Red. What the F?
Yeah, that seems like an oversight. And it seems like something that would be... I'm not a programmer, so I wouldn't know, but it seems like something that would be relatively easy to fix.
Maybe not, because like now you're messing with the sizes and you've designed it to, you've designed your UIs and stuff to have these, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But all I do know is that like I had to whenever I play that game now, I have to grab another chair and put it 5 feet from my TV. So my couch is about 10 feet from my TV, and I got to get another chair, put it halfway between, and then I can read maybe I'm an old man, I don't know, but
You sound like one.
It sucks. Did you guys ever play Oblivion on the 360 on a standard def TV?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's kind of the same thing. Like you couldn't read but that was a little different, right? That was like the font was actually within the pixel limit because it was supposed to be 720 or whatever. So if you're running it on what's a regular TV, like 240 or something? Like a tube TV.
240 by 480? The 640 by 480.
It's not 480, is it?
Yeah, DVDs were 480. I'm pretty sure.
480.
But you needed a enhanced definition TV or something, right? There was something that was below HD. It was like enhanced def or something.
480
Anyway, that's
probably.
I do know that old game consoles output at 240p, like the 64 and the NES and stuff like that.
Right. So I think Dustin has. So there was a four. So a regular TV is 480i. So it really has 240 lines, but they interlace.
Yeah.
Then you could buy 480p TVs, and then you could buy 720p and then 1080p. So, but either way, I do like The Witcher. It's not gonna beat out Bloodborne to me. That's just me though. It's really cool, and there's tons of stuff, and it looks amazing. It really does. It looks amazing, and there's some graphical glitches and some slowdowns, but like I forgive it because it looks so amazing. So, but I'll keep playing it. But I don't have that itch to play it like I did Bloodborne. So
you almost needed to go to a completely different genre altogether. Nothing third person.
I've been playing Rogue Legacy, but let's talk about Axiom Verge because I'm interested in that game. I want to get it soon.
Okay, Dustin, you played some Axiom Verge, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to go back to that and beat it.
So I am relatively far. I think I'm like 7 hours into it, and it's pretty damn good. I'm playing it on the PC right now because it came out May 14th or something like that, and it's awesome. It's unbelievable that one person basically made the game.
Mm-hmm.
The music is really good. The art style is really good. The controls are really good. The difficulty curve, I think, is fair. But I'm pretty late in the game, so I'm starting to hit a point where it's getting pretty challenging and not really in that fun of a way. Just because I'm ready to see what's going on. There's some cool story stuff to it. I mean, it's basically a 16-bit game, right? So it's not real in depth with the story, but there's an overarching story involved, and I'm really excited to see how it's gonna resolve itself. But yeah, visuals are great. Like I said, the music's good. It's fun. It's challenging. But I will say this, Dustin. I'm pretty confident in saying that I'm not going to enjoy it more than Ori.
Okay.
And that's the game that it's most closely compared to, other than Metroid itself. And I've never played a Metroid game, but this game is making me really want to play Super Metroid.
Yeah, you should.
I've given it... I own Super Metroid twice. I think I've got the cartridge, and I think I have it on my Wii U. I remember getting it for like $15, and it sells for a good bit. There it is.
There it is.
That sells
Super
for
Metroid.
a nice chunk now. That's like $50-$60 game.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No,
Yeah.
it sells for a good amount now.
I think I bought this for 25 and I felt like I was paying a bit too much.
I felt good at 15. I think that was what it was. I don't know, Dustin. What do you think about Axiom Verge? Or I guess what distracted you? Like, why didn't you finish it?
I liked it, but it didn't have that something that like Symphony of the Night or Super Metroid had. So I was playing it, and like I wanted to get the next thing, and I wanted to get to the next area after I got that next thing, but then I would get it, and it would just wasn't what
You
I
weren't like relieved, like, yes, now I can go back to this and go get that thing that I wanted.
Yeah,
have that.
like it just like I figured I was going to get something and it would be like a double jump.
I'm really sad there's no double jump in that game.
I was looking for a double. I haven't found one yet, but instead it was like a grappling hook, and the grappling hook doesn't feel good to use.
No, I don't
in my
like using
opinion.
it, and you use it a little too frequently after they introduce it.
So yeah, I really wanted it to. It just parts of it don't feel very good to play.
Bloodborne.
Sorry. I guess I would love to ask you questions about it, but I guess I really have nothing to ask because it seems like I've watched about, I don't know, 2-3 minutes of gameplay, and I think that's all I really need to know, right? I mean, you're running around, you get items, those items are used to open up things. I know it sounds like Yeah, no crap. But it looks great. I do want to play it, but you guys are not really making me want to play it, to be honest.
It I kind of expected this, hearing a lot of the praise that it got, and knowing how much I enjoyed Ori and the Blind Forest, and this isn't a genre that I really have a lot of experience with. So I went in knowing that in the back of my mind I'm going to be comparing it to Ori, and I liked that the mechanics in Ori combine skill with puzzle solving. And Dustin, I was asking you about Axiom Verge, and I remember you saying, yeah, platforming's a part of it, but it's not what makes that game fun.
Right.
And for me, I really like when the mechanics are the core of the game and not so much the exploration.
Right.
And this game is just a bit more on the exploration side. So, yeah. I don't know. Anything else you wanted to add about that before, I guess, I jump into what else I've been playing?
I also, I felt like every weapon that I got, I would get a new weapon, I'd be like, oh, sweet, let me see what this does, and I would use it, and I'd be like, well, I really don't want to use this.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would get more excited about a health boost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than I would about some of the weapons. There was one weapon that is this little green ball.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get that one?
I think, is it the one that bounces around?
No. It's right in front of you.
Okay.
It's a little. It looks like kind of a electric shock almost.
Oh, it's like an electric shotgun, basically.
Yeah, and it was just real close range. That's my favorite weapon so far.
That's exactly what I use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then last weekend, my brother turned 30, so his wife threw him a big 30th birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
We started playing Drunk Driver on Nintendo 64. I've told you, I've described it in the past, but I guess for anybody that isn't familiar, Mike, have you ever heard me talk about Drunk Driver?
No, I didn't. Is it a real game or is it like
no. My brother and his friends made it up, and I think other people do too. The reason we call it Drunk Driver is you play a game of Mario Kart and you drink either a full beer or a half beer. You determine that beforehand during the course of the race. And the caveat is that you can't drink and drive. So you have to wait until you're hit by somebody, or you just have to stop driving altogether while you're drinking. And
but you have to finish that beer before the race is over, otherwise you're just
disqualified, and everyone points and laughs at you.
Or you stop right before the finish line and chug your beer or something.
Yeah, well, what I would do is I would use Mario Kart bullshit, and I would just chug my beer right at the beginning of the race, and then hope that items would catch me back up.
See, that's not fair because you actually know how Mario Kart works.
Well, it doesn't work. That strategy does not work very well on the 64. It works amazing on Wii and Wii U.
Oh, I'll bet.
But not so much on the 64. And another thing about the 64, it looks real bad.
So I have hooked up an N64 to my HD TV and a Super Nintendo and a Nintendo. It's going to look bad, man.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work right.
And my brother didn't have his TV set to squish it back in to give it a proper 4:3 ratio, because I think that would have helped as well. And so it was stretched, and it was hard to tell what I was doing. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, but at one point I was like, this is dumb. Give me my Wii U.
Was it 4-player split screen at that point too?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
That's hard enough too, right?
So I'm getting 8 frames of animation in a driving game per second, so yeah, but I mean it was a lot of fun. And then we also busted out Fibbage. There were a lot of people that had never played Fibbage before. And Dustin, this sucked because it was a huge hit, and my brother's laptop is about 5 years old and overheated in the middle of the game.
Oh no!
He had the fan on the bottom of the laptop resting on the arm of a leather chair, so it just wasn't breathing at all.
Oh boy! Did it damage the laptop, or is
No.
it just shut it down?
No, Windows is smart enough now, or at least maybe it's the BIOS on the motherboard, but it's pretty hard to overheat your computer and damage it now in a one-off thing. If you do it consistently, you're gonna fry it, but just do it once. It wasn't a problem, but it ruined the game, and it was cool because Mike, have you played Fibbage?
No, is this the one where you play on your cell phone?
Yeah. It's amazing that it takes one turn and everybody instantly understands how to play the game.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
When you were describing it, my wife's family have this game that they play called What Were You Thinking? When you were describing Fibbage, it was to me, it sounded sort of a similar thing where there'll be a question that's asked, this What Were You Thinking game. There'll be a question that's asked, and then everybody has to write down, name 10 presidents or whatever. And everyone has to write down 10 presidents, and then whatever name you write down, so like say everybody in the room wrote down George Washington, and you wrote that down, then you get 10 points if there's 10 people in the room. But then you write down like Andrew Tyler or whatever, and you're the only person, you get 1 point. Is it sort of like that, or am I simplifying it too much?
No, it's not really kind of like, I mean, there's an element of it, except you don't necessarily want to be true. You want to be the funniest that sounds like it could be true.
Oh, and then people have to, I guess, pick what's actually right.
Yeah. And the game has ridiculous true answers. So there is an opportunity there for people to be creative and skilled with it. It's
cool.
It's this general gist of it, though.
If I actually had friends, I would love to play it. But what am I going to do? Play with my family? It's not going to happen.
You know what? Maybe we should try to figure out how to, because I think we could play over Skype.
We could.
Because you just need the room code.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that'd be a fun video to do, is us have a game of Fibbage.
Yeah, we should totally do that.
Yeah. I'll see you in 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then also, my friends and I started playing Heroes, of course, but we did Team League, which means that you create like a clan and you have an official team name and you take on other people that are only teams. So since we had 5 of us, we could only take on another team of 5 that were queued up. And I sucked so bad, we got demolished. And it was all my fault. I don't know why I love playing that game so much, because I really stink at it.
Do you like that game, Dustin, with all the hours you've put in?
I love it.
Did you even install it like you said you were going to last episode?
I totally did.
Did you really?
It is installed on my computer.
It was funny because when I was in Cincinnati, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I wonder if I should text him. Okay, that's half the battle.
I was laying in my bed last night, and I was like, I feel like I forgot to do something. I was like, oh, hell, I didn't install a game on my computer. I got up out of bed last night and installed it on my computer.
I appreciate that.
Before I went to sleep.
You guys didn't talk about all the controversy that was behind that ESPN thing.
We talked about it a little bit.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
So I heard about it from my wife's cousin, who was really upset about it because I think she went to it, and she was really excited, and she's like, oh, look, video games are like a true esport now. And then I don't know what the guy's name is, but some guy was like,
Colin Cowherd.
He's like, these guys are playing in their parents' basements, and you know what I say to that?
He says ignorant bullshit all the time.
You know what I say to that? Golf is on ESPN, so there you go. John Daly is a golfer. There you go.
Poker's on ESPN. That's a good reference.
Poker's on ESPN? Oh my God.
Yeah. Poker,
I didn't even think
sometimes.
of that. But poker is big time on ESPN. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
That is basically the physical equivalent of video games.
Yeah, it's just a game of chance kind of. I don't know. Like, I enjoy watching someone play. I'm biased, but I enjoy watching someone play Heroes more than I do watching them play poker.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we did Team League. So we have this issue mainly because I stink, where we fall way behind in the game, and then catch up, and sometimes we win at the end, and we always say that we're lulling people into a false sense of security and then attack them at the end. So our team name is False Security.
That's good.
And then I think that I have found my combination in Mario Kart 200cc that is going to allow me to get gold medals in 200. Because I finally got a gold medal. So I got to give credit to my buddy John. He came up with the character Lemmy using the Bone Rattler, the Dry Bowser trike, and these light green wheels called Azure wheels. And then there's a hang glider, and we use the Animal Crossing paper glider. It is pretty sweet.
I like. I haven't played Mario Kart in a while, but I like the Rosalina with the motorcycle.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good combination or what. With the
cool.
the sticky wheels, I think is what I was using. But I never played 200cc, so I have no clue. Right? But
It's ridiculously fast.
is it really that hard to get gold? Like, I mean, because you could pretty much kind of just you can get gold in all the other stuff pretty easily.
I feel like I'm really an above average Mario Kart player, and it's just ridiculously hard.
Maybe you need
And
to
I'm struggling with it.
put more time into Heroes instead of playing Mario Kart. Your team might actually win,
Yeah, they might.
or they win, but they might actually win without losing first.
So I feel like I'm just way behind. Part of my problem is I'm just terrible at the mechanics of a mouse and keyboard. I didn't play World of Warcraft or Diablo or anything, so using the mouse and keyboard, I find myself on stuff the wrong way.
Do you
Not
use
using-
Do you use hotkeys?
No.
What? Well, no wonder you suck. Everything needs to be hotkeyed, man.
Oh, you mean instead of... No, I'm not like clicking on the action bar and then
Yeah,
attacking.
okay.
No, I'm using like QWER and D sometimes. When they throw D in there, like, god damn it.
So in World of Warcraft, I had this whole thing, this whole system where
Oh, I was thinking of macros, not hotkeys. Okay.
right, yeah, okay, so hotkeys, but and I mean it's a Blizzard game, so I'm just going by it's a Blizzard game. Do you use your shift as well? Like, can you use shift, shift E, shift Q, shift R, shift T? You can't do. Well, I mean, I don't
Maybe.
even know how many things are there.
Maybe you can, and I've just been missing it the whole time.
I'm going from okay,
You
that's
can
my
use A
this is my
like in
bad
StarCraft.
because I've never played it before. But in World of Warcraft, there's like you can have like 20 skills. In Heroes of the Storm, how many skills do you have? Like 4.
Or 4.
Okay, so never mind then. Never mind.
I feel like people have a lot of good dexterity that I just don't have. I'm really slow at making my actions. And another problem is my favorite character to play is just awful for our team composition. And
Get
it's
a
the
new
only
care?
one I'm decent with, but it goes against the meta. So I go up against people that can stomp me all the time.
There's no you don't get anything right from playing. Like you just get a different ranking, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't get new items and new weapons and
Correct.
yeah, man. I don't know. Seems like a fun game, but I don't know what would drive me to like. What do you get for being a higher rank? Just a higher rank.
Yeah, that's all that it is. It's purely about knowing that you've beaten somebody, and it's frustrating to lose after a 20-minute investment of time. And that's how I hang out with my friends from Pittsburgh, Matt and Josh. I don't ever get to see them, but we get to play video games a lot, and that's kind of the game of choice. So
Cool.
although we just started playing, so our friend Evan, who doesn't listen to the show, but if he happens to, hey Evan, thank you very much. He bought me a game called Guns of Icarus. Have you guys heard about this?
Yes.
It sounds
This
familiar.
game it's crazy. So if you see it on sale, you got to get it because essentially what you do is, Dustin, it's a dogfight with pirate ships.
Huh.
But think of them like Bioshock Infinite style, where they're floating in the air.
Ooh.
And everybody on the boat has a job to do. And what happens is you have gunners that specialize in shooting weapons. You have someone that's the captain that specializes in driving, and then you have 2 engineers,
Mm-hmm.
and they fix the ship. So as you're getting pelted by different enemy attacks, your engines will light up on fire. So the engineer has to go over there and fix the engines, while the captain then has to re-steer the boat so that the gunner can shoot back. And so everybody's running around patching up different parts of the boat, and you don't have to be an engineer to be able to fix stuff, but you're slower at fixing stuff if you're not an engineer.
Right.
And if you're a gunner, you can get specialized bullets, and also the reload times are much less for that. And it's just, we played a couple games of it, and it's really challenging, but it's a lot of fun. And it takes place in first person or third person perspective.
Huh.
But every person, it's not like you control the boat, right? Like you're a person,
Yeah.
and you're just on this boat. That's pretty
Basically,
cool.
Yeah.
It seems kind of like things can go downhill really quickly though.
Oh my
in this
God, it
game,
can.
doesn't it? Like
Yes, and it did. We were up 3 kills to none, and usually it's first to 5 kills or first to 7 kills, depending on how many people are queued up in the arena. Because it's not just one-on-one battles. Several teams can be involved at the same time in the same fight, and it can be red versus blue, or I think deathmatch. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think that's going to be a game that I'll be likely to be giving weekly updates, kind of like I do with Heroes, or if I have nothing to talk about, I'll talk about what I did with Hearthstone. So,
this is a free-to-play game?
no.
Okay.
I think it's $20 normally, but there was a sale where a 4-pack was $20. So my buddy bought 4 of them and hooked us all up with copies.
He was like, somebody play with me.
Pretty much.
That's genius when people do that on Steam.
Right? I love that idea.
Yeah.
No, that's what it was. He's like, hey, guys, I really want to play this game, and I just bought it for you, so you have no choice but to try it. He plays Heroes with us all the time, though, so it's not... He, I think, was just looking for a different... He knew that he could get us to play that game with him, basically, without us having anything else to say about it. But yeah, that's pretty much been it, which is a lot for me over the last week. But Axiom Verge has taken the most of my gaming time, or the most amount of it. So, Mike, we'll get to what else you've been playing besides Witcher and Bloodborne in a second. I gotta ask Dustin about Adventure Time, or I mean Zelda 2.
I beat it, and it's good. I recommend it to anybody who has a 3DS rather, because it's a 3DS title. It's actually pretty easy all the way till the end. And if you're not familiar with that cartoon and how like insane it can be, then the game itself, you may think it's completely bonkers.
I know it's incredibly random what happens in that show.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people love that cartoon.
I think it's good. I liked it.
Whenever I've gone to conventions, there's a lot of people that cosplay as characters from Adventure Time.
Yeah. And, speaking of sale, Mike, you'd be proud of me. I got a PlayStation Vita TV for $40.
GameStop, right?
Yep.
Yep. That's how much I got mine for, and it's a great system. Played it about, 2 times. It's a great system, though.
I can see Dustin, just because of his disdain for handhelds. Now he can hook it up on the TV.
Yeah, it's well. If the problem that I had with it was that I wanted to go between my Vita and my Vita TV, and so I was using cloud saves, and I kept getting messed up with the cloud save and like overwriting whatever was the one that I wanted to be. It would always do the opposite, and maybe it's my fault, but I swear to God, I think it's the game's fault. It's not my fault.
I I had problems with that. I was playing Rogue Legacy on a couple of different, I think it was like Vita and PS4 I was doing it on, and the way that they word which ones you want to keep is really weird.
Thank you. And I was going to talk about that. I have actually Rogue Legacy written down on my thing. I've been playing that. Yes. So I lost, I don't know, about 50 levels of Rogue Legacy because of that.
Oh.
Man.
Well, we've just been getting hit with horror stories of losing game saves.
That one wasn't too bad, though, because I probably grinded my way back up in, an hour and a half or something. But it took, because especially Rogue Legacy, it takes a long time for you to sort of learn the levels. I know they're always different, but I mean, each tile set is kind of the same, right? They just arrange the tiles differently.
Yeah.
Right.
So the second time I played through it, and it was much, once I, played through it fresh, it was much easier. I knew where to allocate my points a little better, and it went a lot faster. But the first time I played through, it was like a nightmare. So I don't know. I guess I'll talk about it when I'm ready to talk about it. So sorry, Dustin. Go ahead.
I gotta ask this one spoiler about Adventure Time, and sorry if you're on pins and needles about Adventure Time game, or if you don't know how Zelda 2 ends. But please tell me that you have to face yourself, like a shadow version.
You don't.
Ah.
Too bad. You could just sit in the corner and just down.
Yeah,
down
just
throw.
cheat, yeah.
It does turn into a horizontal shooter in which you're riding a rainbow unicorn.
Okay. I'm back
So
on
it's
board.
basically the same thing.
Pretty much. That's I'll have to keep an eye out for that because I've actually been I was looking at my 3DS yesterday and realized that I haven't been playing it really at all lately. And I think it's because I'm burnt out on the games that I have for it right now.
There's a sale at Best Buy going on right now.
I didn't.
It's buy one, get one 50% off. So I bought Xenoblade Chronicles and Majora's Mask for $44 before tax.
Wait, why'd you get another Majora's Mask? So you can sell it?
I don't have Majora's Mask. I got the collector's edition.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna open that. Come on now. I want to play it.
I opened mine.
You're crazy. That's why.
I opened it and played it. I've got the little statue propped up on an old NES that's on a bookshelf in my living room.
I gotta keep it sealed. But anyway, so $44 for 2 first-party Nintendo games. That's pretty good.
That is good. That's real good.
And I had a question about Adventure Time too. Isn't this game pretty valuable?
Is it?
Oh man, really?
Am I wrong about that one?
I hope not. I was hoping it would be a budget title I could get for like $15.
I knew I remember something about. So there's one Adventure Time that's valuable. There's one Adventure Time that's not.
There's some buy it nows for like $9. Is this the?
What am I thinking of?
Something I don't know.
Hey Iceman, why'd you steal our garbage? Is the one that I'm talking about.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I think that might be the valuable one. No, I
There's
see
a-
the best offer for $11.
Oh, you know what? It's the collector's edition.
Gotcha.
Although it looks like it dropped in price. I remember this thing being like $150. And it looks like it dropped in price. It's like 70-ish now. No, it's like 40-ish now. Wow, it sucks. Oh well. I thought one of them was
But this
valuable.
is a cheap game, so I'll keep an eye out for it. Awesome. Dustin, you been playing anything else, or we didn't get a chance? We had to jump right into Spoilercast. So, anything new? What have you been up to this last week?
Let's see. Been applying for jobs like crazy.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
It's really looking for a job is really depressing.
Yeah. Like I have a degree in computer technology. I'm looking for IT jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And since like we got Solomon, I got a mortgage. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just blanket everything, even Geek Squad. I don't want to work for Geek Squad, but I'll apply there. They get back to me. Sorry, we don't need you.
You're overqualified.
Geek Squad.
Well, you're overqualified.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
would they take you when you're going to leave for a better job?
But still, that hurt me in my deep meats.
I got that when I was looking for a job. I applied for grocery store, like the stock shelves, and they're like, "No, sorry, you're not what we're looking for."
Ugh.
So you know what you could do if you wanted to do Geek Squad? Did you do your full like resume?
Mhm.
No, high school graduate. Some community college. None of that's a lie, right? You graduated high school. You did some community college, military experience. That's it. Just leave out the part where you have a degree. You have a better chance of getting the job.
I might do that.
Reply. Yeah, that's a bummer, man. Luckily, we have video games.
Yeah. But yeah, I applied like a million different places. I'm just I'm eager to hear something, so I'm
At
a
least
little
you're
impatient.
Yeah, I know, I understand, but at least you're in a big city.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Should be some
plenty,
good opportunity there.
hopefully plenty of opportunities around here.
What about your internship's not a place where you can convert to full time?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's unfortunately like they're like, yeah, we could probably make you a good place somewhere in Birmingham, Alabama. Like, well, I'm not moving anytime soon, so me moving would require divorce papers at this point. So
Yeah, that's right, because her family's all right there, right?
yeah,
So, all right, well, that's a bummer way to bring us down, Dustin.
but
You could be a YouTube personality.
I don't know that I'd want to do that.
It's a lot of work, probably more
Yeah.
work than what I do. So
For no gratitude.
Yeah, just for
Those guys that are full time just get shit on
constantly.
but they
all
must
the time by people.
make money, right? I mean, like
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
even the people that have like 100. I mean, I know this is a lot, but 100,000, 200,000 subscribers probably make a decent living.
yeah, but you just are trolled all the time. I don't know if I've got the skin for it.
You don't have to read it.
Like if Classic Leap blew up, like I might shut it down.
I don't know. We don't have to go Flappy Bird on it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But I probably would disable all comments.
So I think I'd leave them up unless it got real bad.
Well, if you get popular, it's going to get real bad.
Then I'd just ignore it.
Be nothing but Gamergate and people like you do like a 1 hour video, and the only thing people would comment on was like you mispronounced a word one time.
Yeah.
So I
must be
take it
kidding.
that you guys read a lot of comments because I don't read the comments and no, I don't see it.
We read our own, and I
Yeah.
hear other people complain about it. We have a very manageable amount of comments, so
I don't know.
We read them all.
If I was doing it, I probably just wouldn't read the comments, or I'd read them and I just I wouldn't care. I mean, what do you care?
for
He has
some reason at times I do. It's like I know I shouldn't. This is just some stranger that's probably 13.
Oh.
Now I'm sounding like Colin Cowherd.
So you could get like 1,000 comments, and 950 of them would be, "Oh, we love you so much," and then 50 of them would be like, "Oh, you suck, we hate you,"
I feel
and those
like
are the
I
ones that
suck.
would stick with you.
Yeah,
See, that's not right.
I can't. I agree with you. I can't help it. So, yeah, Rogue Legacy, Mike.
So I played Rogue Legacy a little bit, and you guys had talked about it, and it kind of got me back in because I beat the first boss, and I couldn't get past the second boss. I couldn't really figure out the game. And then I played Bloodborne, and then I went back and I was like, oh, this is kind of like Bloodborne. I get it now. And I think Dustin would agree. It is actually kind of like Bloodborne,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
You
like
go
2D.
through, you die a lot, and you sort of accumulate a currency that you can use to upgrade yourself and get stronger. But in theory, you could just never spend those things and still be at the same level. So, and you kind of lose it every time you die. I mean, you can spend it, but then once you go back in the castle, you lose it, right? So I was kind of like, oh, I get it now. So like sometimes I'll do gold runs, so I'll just try to get as much gold as possible. And if I reach a boss room, then I won't go in. Because what I was doing before was I would just go until I found a boss room and then I just go in.
That's how I started
with
too,
no
and
focus.
That's the wrong way to play that game.
Yeah.
You either go for gold or you're going for the boss. You don't
Um,
usually do both of them.
So now I did lose some a couple, three different times. I lost progress because of the way that the PS4 and the Vita words the stupid cloud save thing. And so I decided, okay, I'm not going to play on the Vita anymore. That's it. I'm just going to do Rogue Legacy on the PS4, and it's been better since then, since I haven't lost anything. So I beat the first two areas, and I realized that I really like the upgraded ninja. That's like my favorite one to use for gold runs and for bosses.
The Hokage.
Yeah, Hokage, but yeah.
Or Hokage, whatever. I knew I was pronouncing that wrong.
And it seems like you guys have played it a lot and are a lot better at it than me. So I was actually wondering if I could get some tips on what I need to be doing. You know, like if you're like, okay, you need to have 2 vampiric runes and a double jump rune and a slide rune, or you need 3 double jump runes, or whatever.
Okay. So my secret sauce was those runes. If you have an opportunity to downgrade the enemy level, even though it warns you that you're going to get less rewards, do it for all the items that you can.
So every item downgrade, you lose the double jump, lose the slide?
Correct.
Wow, okay.
With a barb.
With a what?
A barbarian, queen or king.
Oh, okay, barbarian.
And I would just go on insane gold runs that way. I
Okay.
would get
I'll give it a try.
5, 6, 7,000.
Sweet.
I'll give it a try.
It sounds counterintuitive because the way the gold boosts work, if you're getting 1 more gold for every single coin you pick up, that adds up pretty quickly. But that was how I, in Dustin's way, kind of broke the game a little bit. It made it a lot easier for me. And then I would default to then a gold boost if I didn't have a downgrade ability.
Are there gold boost runes? I guess I haven't come across any yet.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I did
like a 10% gold boost.
I did a 10% gold boost. The I don't know what it's called. The skill tree. Yeah, and then like the next one was like 3,800, and I've never had 3,800 before gold. So that's
and I would say that's worthwhile. It's very expensive to upgrade that gold, your gold finder or whatever. Right. Well worth it if you can. So what I did was I maxed that out, and then would downgrade all the enemy abilities, and the runs would just go forever. And the Hokage, or however you say it, was my my favorite class to kind of go through the game with.
Right.
Just because you one-shot everything with it.
Yeah, and I do like the barbarian for sure. That was my favorite class when I was sort of doing it, and then I realized how much harder the ninja hits, and I was like, oh well, even though the barbarian can take way more hits, like if I'm just going through and one-shotting everything, then it makes it easier, right? Because you don't even have to deal with the enemies moving.
Exactly.
That didn't work out too well once I got past the forest of Azkaban or whatever, and went into the Maya. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, the Maya, I'm not one-shotting everything anymore, and then I was just dying like instantly.
Yeah. So I don't know, Dustin, what kind of stuff would you do?
I actually haven't unlocked enough of the runes to really give any advice on those.
Well, you've beaten the game, right?
Oh,
okay.
No, I haven't even met the second boss in Rogue Legacy yet.
Oh, I thought maybe Josh was the one who's beaten the game then.
Maybe so.
I thought 2 of you guys had.
I thought Dustin had beaten it too. Honestly.
Yeah, the second boss sucks, but with the Hokage, it made it easier because I could just one-shot all those little skulls that were coming out.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoilers. But for the longest time, I couldn't beat that second boss either because I kept using the barbarian, and I just couldn't get him down fast enough. So.
Yeah, the ninja guy, the Hokage, it does stink that he doesn't have any, or she doesn't have any crit ability. Did you notice that you don't get any critical hits with them?
I guess I did not notice that.
Yeah, but I liked having my crits upgraded in the skill tree. yeah, if you lower all of the enemy difficulty, you'll start getting so much gold that you stop having to worry about how you're building the skill tree because you can just start affording a couple things every time you go through it.
Okay, I'll give that a shot because
And then when you're stuck with like Archmage and Spelunker, Paladin was always my other go-to.
Okay. Well, or like I was actually doing, if I didn't find something that I liked, even if it was a Hokage, but it was like, I don't like the different like problems with the guys. Like, so for instance, like sometimes it's dark and you can only see what's immediately around you.
Yeah.
I would just go in and die instantly and then pick again. Like I don't.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah. Why? What do I care? How many deaths?
Well, it tells you how many. It tells you at the end of the game how many deaths you had.
Well, spoiler, bro.
It just does.
Who cares?
So I was in competition with. I took it as a competition from Kevin from the Para Nerds.
Right.
He called me out on Twitter, and I'm like, oh no. I will beat that game, and then I beat it with fewer deaths than he did, and I was really happy about that.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic game. I'm glad that you're coming from Bloodborne, and you're seeing similarities, and it's kind of still scratching that itch.
It's a lot like Bloodborne. It's not scratching the itch, but I actually found myself, like I was playing The Witcher, and the text was so small, I got so frustrated that I was just, that's it. And then I turned on Rogue Legacy, played it for another 45 minutes. Yeah. And that's 45 minutes that I could have been playing The Witcher, so I don't know. I mean, it kind of speaks to...
But you went to good combat.
Yeah, well...
You just went to a fun game to play.
Except when you don't have stereo vision. I hate that. It feels like there's a little bit of delay when you're turning without stereo vision. Maybe it's just me. Do you know what I mean? Maybe? No? Just me? Okay.
Is that the ones where you can't see 3D?
Right, so
like a flat
flips.
image? Yeah.
It's because like sometimes I'll like to jump and then flip in the air and hit an enemy behind me. And it seems like when I do that stereo vision, there's like a slight delay. I mean, I'm talking about like a quarter-second delay. But maybe it's just my visual of it is a quarter-second delay. I don't know.
That makes sense. It seems like it would take more animation.
Yeah. So it's a good game. I like it. I don't know if I'll ever beat it, to be honest, because it's just... I'll try this gold thing, though, because I feel like I need to upgrade like almost infinitely to be able to beat some of those like areas.
You'll be surprised how quickly stuff catches up.
Okay. And like the darkness, like that's the one that's really going to get me because I don't like not being able to see the whole screen.
Yeah, that one is tough. I don't like the one where you shoot your items backwards. You're confused. You have dyslexia.
So I'm talking about the darkness, the level, not the darkness.
Oh, okay.
The ability or whatever.
Yeah, the darkness is the low one, right?
Yeah, the one that where you go down.
Yeah.
So and then this Telltale Game of Thrones. So I have it in here as Telltale Game of Thrones Xbox One price mistake.
Yeah, what's this about?
So a few nights ago, somebody said, hey, the season pass for Game of Thrones, the Telltale one on Xbox Live is $5. And I said, am I ever going to play that? I was thinking about it. Am I ever going to play it? And I think people thought it might have even been a sale because, I don't know. But eventually they figured out that it actually was a price mistake. And when they figured that out, then I jumped on it. Because, I like the price.
Of course, yeah, you're like, oh, it's a good price, so I'm just going to get it.
Well, $5 for the season, I think that's pretty good.
That's an amazing price. So hopefully you do play it. I've enjoyed it.
I think what I thought too was like I want to play this on PS4 because I don't really play on the Xbox One all that much unless it's exclusive. But yeah, I'll play it. I like Telltale games. The one that I played, which was Walking Dead, even though I own like 3 of them.
I've played Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. I didn't play Wolf Among Us. But I did also play Back to the Future. Did I say Back to the Future?
No.
So yeah, those are the 3 that I've played, and they're all fun. They have their formula. It always feels like a Telltale game, but when you're in the mood for one, it's a pretty cool way to pass some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sweet. Dustin, have you ever played? Yeah, I made you play Walking Dead.
Right? Yeah.
You
It
got
was
the
good.
platinum in that, right?
Yeah.
That's the easiest platinum, I think, ever.
Yeah.
You just have to beat the game.
Just beat the game.
I think you have to replay one level and choose something. Oh no, that's actually for the DLC, the 100 days or whatever, 400 days.
400 days, yeah.
You have to replay one of the levels and make a different decision, and then you'll get all the trophies.
Gotcha.
But other than that, I don't know, man. I've been like, I used to not care about trophies or gamer score, but I've kind of been trophy hunting a little bit lately, and it started with Mordor. So
I've never gotten into that, but I can understand the wanting to complete something.
it's sort of an excuse to keep playing a game that's fun. So like when I played Shadow of Mordor, I beat it and I had like 60% of the trophies, and I was like, oh, I want to go back and get all the trophies because it's a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt the exact same way about Bloodborne. But sometimes there's like things where I'll look at what the trophies are and I'll be like, no, I'm never going to do that. So like Tomb Raider I played, and I loved Tomb Raider, the definitive, or what was it called? Tomb Raider Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
And I beat the game and I had like 17% of the trophies, and I'm like, oh, I would play this game again. And it's like a lot of them are in multiplayer and you have to shoot guys in the head like 20 times. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime I see anything in multiplayer, I'm like, whoop. Oh well.
Chalk that up as a loss. Cool. Well, should we get into news and then some comments and call it a show?
Seems like a good time for it.
Let's do it.
So, real quickly, the Oculus Rift specs were released, and my graphics card is not going to be able to handle 3D. It doesn't look, or virtual reality. So, I wanted to be an early adopter of it, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to afford it, which sucks.
What is it?
Oh, I should probably say what it is. Recommended is NVIDIA 980 or AMD 290 with a minimum spec on the NVIDIA side of a 970 will run it, but I'm not sure if a 280 will on the AMD side.
And what's all that stuff mean? What's the newest, most expensive? Actually, tell it to me in dollars.
Okay, the newest, most expensive is called a Titan Black, and that's $1,000.
Okay.
So we'll ignore that. That's not a real.
It's not a real.
That's
thing.
a real
It's
option for people.
It's fake.
If you spend $1,000 on a graphics card, you're crazy. Unless you're in like a high production environment that can take care or that can utilize it. But the 980 is about 500. I think 500 is probably pretty low. Probably closer to $600 for a 580.
So we're talking about twice, like 1.5 times the cost of a PS4
Yeah, just on the graphics card.
for the
alone.
graphics card.
And that's not including the $300+ that the virtual reality sets are going to cost. So for the Oculus, and it's confirmed that even if you have a high-end Mac, Oculus isn't going to work on your MacBook Pros. So I don't know. Some people are bummed about that. Dustin, you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, we lost Mike. So he'll be back. But yeah, that was crazy. I did... that sucks that he's not here. He'll be back in a second, though. I wanted to cover the best review of a game I've seen in a while. So someone put on Steam about The Witcher.
Mm-hmm.
Here he comes.
I don't know. I guess that was me.
And he's back.
I guess that was my fault.
Yeah, it's all right. I know you've got storms right now. So
Actually, it's been pretty good. I think it just, I don't know. I think it
your
just
router
glitched because I never lost.
Your...
Well, I never lost connection. I saw you still messing around in the show notes as everything was going on. So I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
So I saw a review of The Witcher on Steam, or no, I saw it on Reddit, but it's a Steam review of The Witcher 3, and it's just bullet points, and I thought it was good. Riding on my horse, pack of wolves start chasing me. Runs through small village to lose them. Wolves start attacking villagers. Damn. Have to save the villagers. Kills wolves. Saves village. Checks if kid who got attacked is okay. Kid tells me to fuck off. 11 out of 10. I thought that's pretty funny. And I believe that's how it happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was on Reddit. It was A Witcher's Life in a Nutshell Steam review. Also, yeah, Mike. So essentially, it's going to be $350 to $600 to get an Oculus compatible graphics card, and then you have to spend $300 or $400 on an Oculus. So the thing about VR though that is still an unknown is the Valve version might not require the hardware to be as powerful, but it probably will. And then there's the Morpheus for PS4.
I thought the Oculus Rift was Valve. Is it not?
No.
What's the Valve one?
It's
Vive.
being produced by HTC, and it's called the Vive or the Vive.
5. Which one was the one that everybody was raving about at that Austin CES or whatever?
CES. That was the Vive.
Okay.
That was the one where it blew people's minds, and that's the one that got me the most excited about wanting to be an early adopter of VR, but probably not going to be realistic. Did you guys see that they're going to do Nintendo World Championships again?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of interesting. Essentially, so if you're not familiar, the Nintendo World Championships took place in like 1990, I want to say. And essentially, they were a competition of people to see who was the best Nintendo player. And it was most popular because there was a nod to it in the movie The Wizard, which we all grew up with. And anyways, so Nintendo's bringing back the competition. And what they're going to do is have people at a variety of areas in California, Florida, New York, at different Best Buys. And they're going to have them play championship mode and Ultimate NES Remix. So they will be playing or shooting for high scores on Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 3, and also Dr. Mario. So I thought that was pretty cool.
So here's where they screwed up big time, Nintendo. They should have made like, 100 or 200 gold discs. And those discs were how you played the games. You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just, we're going to take NES Remix. Well, 10 million people have NES Remix or whatever it is, maybe not even that much.
That should be a playable disc that is gold.
Right.
Would be awesome as like a reward if you got there.
And considering how much like the Nintendo World Championship card had been in the news, I don't know what it was, like maybe less than a year ago, where the Mario Nintendo World Championship card sold for $100,000, although of course the guy didn't pay, but
Yeah.
It was still in the news, it was like, oh, look at this, there's this thing, and it kind of brought it back a little bit, got people thinking about it. Like, why not just make a gold disc that, goes into your Wii U, and I don't know, and it would have been cool, like people, if you won the Best Buy competition, then you could keep it or whatever, or maybe if you came in top 3, you could keep it. I don't know. It's just something that...
You just love the idea of rare video games, period.
The reason why that Nintendo World Championships is even in anyone's mind is because of those carts.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So they must know this. But no, they think, it's because people want to compete in Nintendo games. Not really.
No.
It'd probably be like you win some stupid gold amiibo.
Oh, you mean like this? Gold Mario.
Gonna have to hang up on him now.
It's going to be one of those. It'll just be like, don't hand it
you
to you.
get a Gold Mario. You could buy it for $20
We literally
on eBay.
just pulled it off the shelf over here. Here you go.
And then the last thing, Dustin, you have an update on Bloodstained.
Yes.
Joint.
It has gone over $2.5 million. And that's cool because it is going to get us, let's see, 2 million was boss rush mode, 2.25 was retro, was a retro level, and 2.5 million was classic mode, which means they're going to take everything and kind of set it up into like a 6-stage video game. It's going to be like a proper Castlevania, like old school.
Oh, sweet.
And it's going to be super hard.
Awesome.
At least that's the plan, of course. Nothing is
We'll see
really...
in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
So this game, just out of curiosity, this game is going to be made, right? Like they even said that this money that they're getting in Kickstarter is not like what they need to make the game. They already have it funded.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
This was to prove to whoever was the real backer that there was enough interest to pour money into the game.
Yeah.
So it was more of a yardstick than that he needed the 2.5 million. At least he was transparent about that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't backed this, but I think I might at the... You got a physical copy, right, Dustin?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get it for PS4?
Yep.
Yeah.
I genuinely considered doing the 100 just so I could get it signed. But if I got Igarashi's signature, I'd rather do it like face to face. If that would ever happen.
Instead of feeling like you just bought it.
Yeah. But then I would run the risk of like hugging him and not letting him go. Make it really awkward.
You should go to Kind of Funny Games, I think, because they did an 1.5-hour interview with him.
Yeah.
Through a translator that I think you might like. I watched the first part of it, but the guy Colin that interviewed him is a really big retro game fan, really big Castlevania fan. So I think you'd enjoy that interview.
That was a really weird way to announce your game. It was like guys on YouTube and Eco Raptor, which is a big YouTube guy. Like,
oh yeah,
it wasn't IGN or Polygon or any of that. It was.
But that's how you get
YouTube
that
guys.
grassroots effort going. Just like we talked about with YouTubers that are really big, they get flack, but they can really get butts moving too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it was pretty smart the way they handled it. But yeah, when they showed that you could back certain, I think this was the game, you could back certain clans or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I recognized a lot of the YouTubers that were on there.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
sort
cool.
of... I got one thing to say about that video. I sort of thought it was funny that one of the things he said was, people say my style of game is out of style, or whatever he said. He said, people say that, people don't like this style of game anymore. And he goes, but I say they're wrong. But my question is, who the hell says that? There's like 1 million different Metroidvania games coming out nowadays, and everybody loves them.
That's true. That's a good point.
So, although this is going to be good, don't get me wrong now. And I'm sure he'll throw some other twists in there that are, maybe people have never seen before. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to buy a $60 game when I know it'll be at Best Buy and I can get it for $48.
Will it?
Will it be at Best Buy?
Will
Yeah,
it?
Will it?
Mm.
You think it'll be digital only? Unless you get it through the physical?
Could be.
Nah.
You never know. They're not selling copies of Pure Solar right now. Can't get that at Best Buy.
Were they ever going to, though?
I have a
don't
copy
think
of Pure
so.
Solar behind me.
Well,
Hard copy.
you have a Genesis copy?
Oh, yeah, I do. Unopened.
That's nuts. It's not first print though.
It's not, no.
Oh,
I had
snap.
to open my first print because it was a review copy.
Oh,
I
la di
couldn't
da.
So I couldn't have them send a review unit and then be like, well, I'd rather just leave it sealed.
Should have
so-
immediately put it on eBay.
Send 2 review units. One to
Yeah.
keep sealed and one to review.
So,
All right,
I
I'm
made
doing
at
it.
Best Buy.
As soon as I'm done, I'm going to sign up. $60.
awesome.
PS4. Why not? I got money.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe I'll do $100 one. Get a keychain, get a pin, get a soundtrack. That might not be
I
too
bet the
bad.
soundtrack's going to be amazing.
Yeah, they got the original composer
Yeah.
for Symphony of the Night. And Jake Kaufman is attached to it now?
No way.
Yes way.
The Shovel Knight and
Mhm.
dude that did all the Mighty Switch Force and
Yep. I bet he's doing the retro level.
Shantae. Dude, that's odd. He's really good.
Yeah.
All right, done.
Vert,
It'll
I
be
think.
that much closer to $3 million.
Nice. Does that feel good?
Excellent.
You're part of the hype train now.
No,
Have
no.
you ever backed something on Kickstarter before?
No,
Mike?
that's why I'm not going to do it right now because I got to sign up and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I'd do it as we speak. But it's not going to happen until later.
All right, so we have some YouTube comments that I want to go through. First is our friend Zarek. So he writes that he did the $100 pledge himself, but he's aware that I already knew that, he says, because I commented on his video. His reaction video to the news of Bloodstained was pretty cool. And then he also says that he hasn't played Heart of the Swarm either. He's interested though. So he has a lull there for you. He says that part in the video where he just stabbed the guy with the knives cartridge behind the Buffy movie, or reminded him of the Buffy movie. So remember when she roundhouse kicked the stake all the way through?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have not seen that movie, but I've seen that scene. That's iconic. And then he says that he'd love to play Mario Kart 200cc with us. He got a silver medal so far. So, Zarek, I will send you a private message and give you my friend code and all that, and we'll definitely play some Mario Kart 200cc, and maybe you'll want to record it and put it on your channel. Who knows? And then also, Demez, this cracked me up. He writes, he goes, "My dick is hard for the new Symphony of the Night on Kickstarter." He backed the cheap digital Steam version. He says, "I don't care about the physical PC game, I don't care about physical PC games, and I don't know if I'll ever have a PS4. It's his favorite game of all time. Well, that and Super Metroid. So cool." He also corrected me. I said that the band that we talked about last week, Dustin, I said it was pronounced Fords. It's Fjords.
Oh.
It's the FJ.
I thought you
didn't know
said
how to
that.
pronounce FJ.
I thought you did say fjords.
Really?
I think you
I
even
thought you
mentioned
did.
it was like the thing in Norway or whatever.
Huh. I thought I got it wrong. So
How disturbing was that video, by the way? It was
I-
it was a little
so-
bit too disturbing for me.
So let me tell you something. So I loved the video, right? And I get all excited, and I tell my buddy John to watch it, and I sit down and get him to watch the video. And when he gets done, he goes, "Dude, that is too depressing. Why are you making me watch this?" So maybe we're alone, Dustin.
I sent it to Jeremy, and Jeremy is my co-host on the Cartoon Cartoon Retrocast.
Retrocast.
And he was like, I couldn't finish it. He said he couldn't finish it. It was too grossed out by it.
Damn.
It's weird.
I don't know.
How desensitized are we, Dustin?
I'm just like, yeah, he shot that guy right in the face.
Yeah, right. And then also, Demez asks, "What Contra did I beat?" Because I said he goes, "You said Super Contra, but that's not a game I'm aware of. There's Super C and there's Contra 3 Alien Wars. I played Super C for the NES. I can't believe I called it Super Contra."
Well, technically it is Super Contra, but they called it Super C because it released at the same time that the Contra scandal happened.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't want that to be like associated with that.
Just so you know, Valdelisa used to own my copy of Super Contra.
And that's the original
Yeah,
Dust
it
thing.
is. It's the original. I'm holding this up to the camera. Sorry for anyone that's audio here. Is somebody named Valdelisa wrote his name on the cart and on the dust cartridge. And I just noticed that now. So there you go.
And then Dustin, you've been corrected by Dumaz.
Uh-oh. What'd I do?
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is totally worth $50 or whatever.
Okay.
He put $50 or whatever in quotes because you must have been real dismissive when you were like,
Yeah.
$50 or whatever, too much. Seriously, so good.
So big, so
So
long.
big, so long. Tons of replay value and extremely hard. You'll spend many, many, many hours trying to beat it the first time, though. Bayonetta 2, totally worth it, too, especially because Part 1 is included, and the graphics are way better than the PS3 version of Bayonetta 1. I played Bayonetta 2. It's not... It didn't... So I need to go back to it, but that's a really good value that you got Bayonetta 1 and 2 with it. The Wii U struggling for titles, that's a good one to go for.
Yeah.
So Bayonetta. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Just to clarify, if my gift card had been for more, I probably would have popped on the Tropical Freeze. I only had like 20, so
Gotcha.
I didn't want to spend the extra $35 or
And
whatever.
you're job hunting, so you can't just be willy-nilly buying $50 games.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got Bloodborne to play. F Tropical Freeze. That game
True
sucks compared to Bloodborne. Is Bayonetta 2 the one where it's like you can... Is it like the scaling on the difficulty is really weird? Like if you do normal, it's like you just press a button and you win, and if you do hard, then it's way too hard or something?
I don't
that the
know, but I would...
Well, you played it, right?
Not all the way through, no.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's not the same game.
And I
I'm
definitely
thinking
didn't
of
play it on hard. I rarely play. I love difficult video games, but I rarely play a game on the hard setting.
You
So
wouldn't
a
have that
game like-
choice in Bloodborne.
Exactly. So, but I would probably enjoy it. There isn't a difficulty setting in Rogue Legacy. There's no difficulty
That's true.
setting in a lot of games that I play. But when there is one, I don't put it on hard. So if that was an option in Bayonetta 2, I definitely wouldn't have selected it.
Unless it's Mega Man 2.
Unless it's Mega Man 2. That's right. Good call. Way to bring back last episode.
Did you beat that on hard? You said you did, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I haven't gone back. I know that I can, but I am at the spot where you are in Wily's castle and you have to refight all the bosses. But I'm down to just my pea shooter on some of the enemies. So
Okay. You don't have
so
any-
it's challenging.
You don't have any of weapon juice?
No, I used it and died.
Okay.
So yeah.
Can you just die enough times to continue and everything will be refilled?
Oh, maybe.
But won't you
pretty
get
sure you
kicked
can.
out of the castle?
No, you'll just start at whatever that is. Wally 3,
3 or 4,
1?
something like
3,
that.
4? Yeah.
Gotcha. That's a good call. I didn't think about that.
All right.
I saw that I was down and was like, you know what? I think I'm going to shut this off because I'm not going to be able to beat this.
In fact,
Actually,
I think if
that-
you just put in the password, you'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask you guys this, since I'm here and I've been thinking about it for a while. Better song, Moon Level in DuckTales or Wily's Castle 1? I think it's Wily's Castle 1, right? Or is it Wily 2?
I like... Oh, that's tough.
The one that's like...
Yeah. I would probably go with that one if I could only hear one of them again. I have a little bit more nostalgia. There was... The Moon Level you could just select when you were a kid, but you had to earn
Right.
the ability to hear Wily 1. There's also a rapper that sampled it named Cage that I liked, and he did a cool song with it. It was one of the first songs I played on Classic Elite as an outro, actually.
All right, Dustin? Is it
Moon
like
Level.
Sophie's Choice?
Moon
Ah,
Level.
I think I got to go with Mega Man.
Like I have Moon Level on my iPod. I don't have Wily's. Well, I have the mini boss version of it, but
Okay. But the real version you have
Moon Level.
DuckTales. Okay.
Like man, that song is good.
It's really good.
It's
Both
good.
of them are really good. That's tough. And you know what? My answer could change on that too. But today, if I had to pick, I think I'm going to go Mega Man.
Yeah, I'll go Mega Man. But yeah, you're right. It could easily change. Tomorrow, it's all about the Moon Level.
Yep. So, okay, cool. Mike, if anybody's still listening.
Yeah, that was my
You
email,
want-
by the way, that question right there. Since I didn't
All
say
right.
it.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to tell people where they can find you if they want to hear more from you?
Yeah, that's fine.
CartoonRetrocast.com.
I don't care. We had a good guest on like last week, I think.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Where was this week's episode, by the way?
So we didn't do a real episode. We were gonna do Brave Star, and I watched half the episode, and Jeremy watched the whole thing, and we just never. I just didn't get my crap together. So next week is gonna be Brave Star. We did put out an after show this week where my kid was coming in and out of the room, so it wasn't a great episode either. Although we did talk about that Nintendo kid where he shot everybody and stabbed him in the chest.
I'll be interested to hear your take on that.
So
I don't think you released that yet.
I think it just I reminded him today.
Okay.
So feeds.feedburner retrocast. Yep, it's out.
Okay, cool.
So
I'll be listening to that tomorrow.
came out at about 2:00, whatever time that was. And yeah, we talk about cartoons, and I think I'm gonna try to push to do 100 episodes, but I think we're gonna be done with it soon. And
Again, you guys took it longer
Well-
than last time.
look, there's only so many cartoons you can watch,
I
and
know, and they're not all Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck was pretty good.
It was.
Uh,
You've watched a lot of turds.
We've watched a lot of, and so actually somebody did write in, and we mentioned this on the latest show, so I'll talk about it now. Is they asked us what our favorite episodes of our show that we did was not necessarily the cartoons that we were watching, but what our favorite episodes were.
Mhm.
I couldn't. I think he asked for a top 3. And I think I said a top 3, but I thought my top 1 was the Captain Planet episode. I thought that was the funniest episode that we had done. So if you want to watch, or if you want to listen to our show, listen to the Captain Planet episode first and decide if you like it. And then realize it's all downhill from there.
So just start them off with the Darkwing Duck one, because it's just uphill from there.
No, that one was good. I don't know what would be the worst. The Readers of the Lost Alphabet would be the worst, because one of us didn't watch the cartoon, so and it wasn't me.
All right, well, cool. Well, Mike, thanks a lot for coming on and spoiling Bloodborne for everybody. It was
Yep.
fun.
Are you going to cut that and put it at the end, or what are you going to do?
No, I'm just going to roll with it. We gave people a warning.
All right. All right.
I'm
Thanks.
not doing all that editing, so
Nobody listens to the podcast anyway, so it's all good.
that's very true. So we are on Stitcher, we're on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud. Twitter is Classic Elite, Facebook is Classic Elite, and YouTube is youtube.com/Classic Elite. Twitch is twitch.com/Classic Elite. Damn, Tony, set that up.
What? Twitch.com _? How's that work?
Twitch.tv Classic_Elite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't say that right, so I'm glad that didn't make sense to you. And because sometimes I'll be rambling and say things backwards, and Dustin won't correct me on it.
Yeah.
And I'll just look like a jackass.
He's planning it that way.
He just sits back and just lets the errors happen. If you watch on YouTube, sometimes he just kicks back like he's in a lazy boy.
Yeah,
He's got this fancy mic arm.
it's great.
And then the outro music for our audio listeners is going to be a guy named Too Mellow, and he mashed up Final Fantasy and Wu-Tang Clan on an album.
All right.
And this particular song is from Ghostface Killah, Apollo Kids, mashed up with, I don't know, something from Final Fantasy VII. I'm not familiar
What?
with it, so it's good.
It's the most random combination I've ever heard of in my life.
Sometimes
Enjoy it.
You need a good, sometimes you need a good mashup like that. So, everyone, thanks a lot for listening, and we will see you soon for episode 141. Come on, Dustin.
Boosh. Sorry.